Hey guys, today I'm going to show you candy DIY school supplies that you can prank your friends and teachers with. If you like candy and snacks, then click that like button and comment your favorite candy or snack for a shout out in my next video. And if you'd like to see more fun DIY videos, please click that subscribe button. For this one, you will need some Pixie Sticks candy. I started by cutting off one end, and I dumped that into the cup, and I saved the candy for later. I wanted this DIY to have a scent, so I'm going to use the Mr. Sketch scented crayons. Just turn it so it goes all the way up and then pull it out. For the next part, I'll be using a straw, and the reason why I'm doing this is so that it fits all the way down in the Pixie Sticks wrapper, and then you can slide it up and down. So I just placed it next to the wrapper and marked off on the bottom where it needed to be cut, and then cut it. I slid the crayon into the straw and placed it into the Pixie Sticks wrapper. And that's all there is to these easy Pixie Stick scented crayons. For this one, I will be using one of these gummy worm boxes. Start by carefully opening the top, making sure not to rip it. Once you have it open, pull out the gummy worms and set those aside for later. For the next part, I'm going to use a piece of blue cardstock. Any color will work. Place the box on the piece of cardstock, trace around it. Once that's done, fold the cardstock in half and cut it out so you're left with two pieces. The kind of paper you want to make your notebook with. Then place one of the pieces of cardstock on that, trace around it, and cut out several sheets to form the notebook. Once all the pieces are cut out, grab your two pieces of cardstock, place one on the front and one on the back, and clip them together. Apply some glue along one of the sides to bind it together, set it aside, and let it dry. Here is mine once it was dry. Next, I just applied some glue to the box and glued the notebook to that. Now add the gummy worms to the box, and there you have an edible gummy worm notebook. For this one, you will need a Toblerone box, and just start by carefully removing the candy from the box and enjoy it later. Next, I just cut the remaining flap off of the side. Cut the other side of the box so it looks like the side that you took the candy out of. For this part, you will need 2 highlighters. I will be using the Sharpie highlighters. Apply some hot glue to one of the bottoms of the highlighters and glue the highlighters together. Place the highlighters in the box and glue on both ends to hold the highlighters in place. And that's how you make these easy Toblerone highlighters. For this one, I will be using one of these Milk Duds cartons. Start by cutting off the top of the box. Here is what you should have once the box is cut. Empty out the Milk Duds and save them for later. I cut out a piece of foam that was 2 by 8. Place glue on one of the ends and glue them together. Now place the piece of foam in the carton and glue along the sides to secure it in place. And now you can add your pens, your pencils, your highlighters, and that is how you make this easy Milk Duds pencil case. Choose any Airheads candy and carefully remove the wrapper, making sure not to rip it. To make the eraser, I will be using some of this amazing eraser clay. I chose the blue piece to match the color of the Airheads candy. I took the piece of blue eraser clay and rolled it out. I cut out the shape of the Airheads candy and I baked that in the oven according to the package instructions. Here is mine once I took it out of the oven and it had cooled down. Place it in the wrapper so a little bit of the end is sticking out. Then start gluing the wrapper together and make sure that there's just a little bit of room so you can slide the eraser up and down, but not enough so it will fall out. And here is mine after the wrapper was glued in place. And that's how you make an eraser that looks like an Airheads candy. To make an Airheads pen, Choose the Airheads candy of your choice, and again carefully remove the wrapper, making sure not to rip it. For the next part, I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper, and on the parchment paper, I traced out the shape of the Airheads, and with my hot glue gun, I filled that in. Now, before the glue fully dried but wasn't super hot, I took the ink from a pen and cut it down to size and placed it in the middle of the hot glue. Once the hot glue had cooled down, I removed it from the parchment paper. Now, to make it look like the Airheads candy, I just took some green acrylic paint and painted both sides. Once the pen is dried, then just place it in the wrapper with a little bit sticking out and glue the pen and the wrapper together. And there is the Airheads candy pen. This DIY is from a previous video, but you guys really liked it and said it would be a great prank. So this one is DIY bubblegum erasers. To make these, I will be using some of this amazing eraser clay. I took some of the pink eraser clay and I started forming it so it looked like little bubblegum pieces. Once I had my pieces the way I wanted them, I baked them in the oven according to the package instructions. Here are mine after they were done being baked. Then I just took one of the double bubble wrappers and wrapped them up. And that is how you make these easy bubblegum erasers. For this one, you will need some storage tubes. I found these at Hobby Lobby. I started by painting the cap and the tube with some gold acrylic paint. Here is mine once it was painted and dry. Print out the printable. I will leave a link down below for this and cut it down to size. Wrap the label around the container and cut off any excess. Apply some glue to the label and glue it to the container. Choose any glue that you would like to fill the tube, and then start filling the tube, making sure not to fill it all the way up, leaving room for the cap. For the glue applicator, I will be using a lip gloss wand, and I just glued that to the top of the cap with some hot glue. Once the hot glue has cooled down, you can put it into the glue, and that is how you make this Rolo's glue. I hope you guys enjoyed all these candy DIY school supplies that you can prank your friends and teachers with. I would like to give a shout out to these 3 people who commented their favorite Starbucks drink in my last video. Remember to comment your favorite candy or snack for a shout out in my next video. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until next time, I hope you guys all have an amazing day.